crazy, Malin. I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Got lots of love. Got lots of love. Got lots of love. 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 Love.
Welcome back. It's a brand new season of CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss. Look who's starting it all off, it's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through from Baby! It's just gonna solidify everything for Mythos.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKT, what The shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Laura, is he going to be able to find these shots true?
Edu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes an Annabelle immediately comes back with fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2, 3, so back and forth.
Well, hello everyone, and good evening. It is time for the NA Console Open Tier CGL Overwatch 2, and my goodness gracious, what an evening that we have ahead of us, taking our eyes and putting them on towards our competitors of Mizuchi Esports and Krillers. They're going to go up against each other. One team so bloodthirsty, obviously wanting to take that victory for tonight. But before we go any further and talk about these great games, we got to talk about the great people that are going to be on the desk joining me. Obviously, I'm Sam Talks. Right next to me, I have Dexatron, Chef Billy, and Headrammer. Dex, how you doing this evening, buddy?
Man, I am doing good. We have ourselves a great matchup here for Friday Night Overwatch, and a lot of playoff implications are in this one here.
Absolutely. That's a big topic of this evening, is the playoff implications that we're talking about. Billy, playoffs, you doing good?
Yeah, I had spaghetti tacos, so I'm doing absolutely fantastic right now. Yeah, I mean, this is the last week of the regular season. We've got an admin week coming up next week, so there will be no games, other than certain fun things that will be going down during our admin week. We'll talk about that later on at the end of the show. But right now, Krillers and Mizuchi, they are fighting for seeding positioning right now. There's a lot on the line tonight, so we need to get to it.
The pressure is thick, and they're the ones that are going to have to wade through it. But Headrammer, what about yourself, my friend? You're looking positively radiant tonight.
Oh, thank you. I try to show my best figure when I'm dropping frames here on camera. Look, funny fact, I'm not actually dropping frames. I'm actually just moving that way. That's how I work.
I have met you in real life, Headrammer, and I can confirm that they do actually move like this in stop motion, in slow motion.
A little bit of robotic maneuver.
Okay, now we're shaking things up a little bit this week. Before we actually get into talking about our teams, we have Headrammer on the desk, which of course means that we have a Headrammer game to play. So Headrammer, I'm going to leave this one over to you, my friend.
Of course. I mean, people know by now, I like to make the desk suffer a little bit, because, these people tell me they're professionals. And as a professional, you need to know the game you're doing, right?
No.
So we make them test a little bit of their games here. And I see on the scoreboard, I'm on the scoreboard instead of Billy. So screw you, Billy. You get there.
Oh, wow!
Yay!
Okay.
All right. Pete. Yay!
Headrammer, I just want to say, you're expecting professional. It took me like 4 tries to get the buzzer active, okay?
That is true. As a professional over there, Sam, he could not log into the buzzer, but he has managed to do so now. Oh, okay, but I guess production decided you could play, so I got overridden on that one. Right. So all right, everyone have their buzzer up?
Yeah, we got the buzzer. What are we even doing, Headrammer? What is happening?
Which one? What map is that?
We're back again. What map is that?
Yeah, we gotta do it while spinning. What map is that?
What map is that? I like the reflection you have on it, by the way. I noticed that.
Thank you. I specifically tried to find one of the most annoying fonts I could to make that work out.
Mission accomplished.
I could find the
all right. one. Does everyone have their buzzer open?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and a few reminders of the rules. If it is a control map, you have to name me the sub point as well. Additionally, any map in Overwatch can be there. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Can't wait for the Toronto.
What map is that? Sam?
Suravasa.
No. Any other guesses over there? Billy and Dex, you gonna buzz in? No? Dex?
I'm looking.
I'm just gonna say Paris.
Interesting. You were correct. It is Paris.
I wanted to say Paris, but I thought that was too easy.
You thought it was too easy? Look, I gotta start you guys a little bit easy. I mean, we know you've been struggling a little bit recently.
What's that supposed to mean, Henry?
Exactly what he means.
No, maybe. All right, we go for the next one. What about that one? Sam?
Antarctica.
If you're guessing, what's it called? A control map, you have to guess the sub point too.
Well, it's Antarctic Peninsula. I'm gonna go with the. I don't know the names of the sub maps. I'm gonna be honest, like off the top of my head.
Name one that stands out to you then.
Is it the? It's the. Why don't I? Listen, you put me on the spot, and I gotta.
You told me the rules beforehand.
So
Well,
what?
Game show.
So what if he told me the rules? I'm gonna ignore the rules. I'm gonna pretend they don't
You ignore the rules.
I'm
I haven't even
above the
confirmed
rules.
it's the right map.
You know what? You just give it to Billy.
Leave it to Billy. All right, Billy was second in their buzzer. What is it, Billy?
Antarctic Peninsula icebreaker?
Correct. It is.
That's the one I wanted
Not
to
too
say
far out
too.
of the spawn there.
That's the one I wanted to say too.
Sam, you had the right general idea.
Yes, I did. I was close. I was there.
I wasn't gonna say that one actually.
what do you think it was, Dex?
I was thinking it was Samoa and Volcano.
Oh, okay. I can see why you think that. What about this one though? Dex?
No, it's. Is it Busan downtown?
No.
Okay.
Really?
I just got.
Kanazaka.
You are correct. It is Kanazaka.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna remember that one.
Wow, that's the deathmatch map.
Billy, you knew that one right away.
Yep.
Very impressed. You didn't fall for my bait.
I did not.
No, I wasn't. You're trying to tell me I was wrong. My sub map is not wrong.
I'm never wrong.
Yeah, I'm never wrong. I've never been wrong in my life. What map is that?
This is a spawn room.
Is it though?
I don't think
Is it?
Is it? Nani?
No.
This is so vague.
It seems pretty obvious to me.
Yeah, you're the one who
Of course
took
it
the photo.
As the creator of the game show, I thought it was pretty simple.
Yeah. When I selected the map on purpose, it seemed obvious to me. Sam?
Rialto?
No, I'm afraid not, Dex.
Dorado?
You are correct. It is Dorado.
Mother.
I was right. It was a
Second
spawn
point
point, though.
Yay!
Yes, you were correct. It was a spawn point. It's the second point defense spawn on Dorado. What map is that?
How'd you get this picture
Dex?
of my room?
New Junk City?
Nope.
Okay.
Really?
Gibraltar.
Nope.
Ooh.
Sam?
Circuit Royale?
No, I'm afraid not.
What the heck?
It was
Any
closest.
final guesses before I reveal the answer?
New Junk City?
I said that.
No.
I just thought you might have changed your mind.
Ilios?
No. Unfortunately, Dex, you were on the right track. It's Junkertown, though.
Yeah.
That's so sad, actually. Hey,
Yeah,
Wow.
but the moment
Ilios
you
too?
said the moment you said New Junk City, I thought like, oh, someone's just gonna go like Junkertown right after.
Yeah, Billy too. Okay.
What about this one though? Dex.
Oh wait, no, this is a bait. This is Samoa.
No, it's not.
Damn it.
Sam?
is it Rialto?
No, it's not. Billy?
Suravasa.
By process of elimination, we have reached Suravasa. yes, you're
Damn.
correct. You know Suravasa, Billy, or was it process of elimination?
No, I knew it was Suravasa. It's behind Jeff all the time.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. You know, I figured we did one of these last week, this next one here, and I figured, well, we might as well come back to it. What map is that? So we have all these maps with different movie posters. Billy?
Is it Hollywood?
No.
Yeah, I felt like that would have been too easy.
Dex?
Midtown.
Correct. It is Midtown.
Ooh.
Where's that? Where's that?
That's right out of side of attacker spawn. First point.
Yeah. That is like going under that bridge goes to the first point.
Yeah, you can like see it right there. Okay.
I think what we got Dex and Billy are tied right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get on the board.
No, you don't.
Sam, I believe in you. What map's that?
Oh, I don't believe in me. Not right now.
I have 100% faith in you, Dex.
Aricio?
You're correct.
Wow.
It is
That was impressive, actually. That was
Dex.
impressive.
Dex proving, like Dex was always saying, like he was talking bad smack when he was on the casters and we were doing this on the desk, and he's proving it right now.
All right.
Yay.
All right, can you stay ahead?
Ooh. Hey, who stopped playing Overwatch?
I think it was someone named Lights. I think it was Dex.
Time for my third attempt with this one. Is this one Samoa?
It is not Samoa.
He's desperate for the Samoa.
Billy.
Coliseo.
No. Sam, you got a guess?
Oh, man.
Paris?
No.
What the heck?
You think I would do the double map to you?
Yes.
Possibly.
Can I?
Yeah, I've also done it a different week, but I did a double map last week, but no, it is actually Esperanza.
Esperanza.
I was gonna be wrong if you gave us another chance anyway. So thank you.
All right, I got one more for you both. This one, I believe you can get this one, Sam. Okay.
Okay, all right. I got faith in me.
What map is that? Sam?
Is it Paul?
No, it is not. Dex?
Temple of Anubis.
You are correct.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's old school.
See, I tried to leave a little like you could see through kind of thing, see the background.
Yeah.
But I tried today.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right.
I think Zexatron's the winner.
I think Dex is the pretty clear winner
Dex
here.
won.
Yay.
Wow.
Jump scare.
Yeah, get the full screen head raver because it'll make anyone fearful.
What do you mean by that?
All right, well, congratulations, Dexatron, on your amazing win. Head raver, what does Dex get?
Nothing.
Well, Dex,
Full screen.
He has to become full screen, and he gets to be himself because, like, we love Dex
That is
here.
a
We've
bad
turned
thing
him
to
into
be.
14 different memes, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so.
He gets to be himself. That's philosophical, head raver.
That's the worst thing you could be.
That's deep. That is deep. All right. Well, congratulations once again, Dexatron. And hey, you know what, Billy? I think your 3 points is also very impressive. I didn't get anything this week, but just you guys wait until the week after, or maybe something, whatever crazy happens next week. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a Friday night Overwatch with no games.
Maybe we need to rebrand the game. Instead of what map is that? Will Sam get a point?
So there's a season overview that we can talk about now. I think that we should go ahead and jump into that and see just exactly how our teams have been doing. Once again, if you are forgetting who is going to be playing, that is Mizuchi Esports versus Krillers. I'm sure our amazing producer has that on lockdown. But hey, Dexatron, talking about these two teams and how they've been going, right? This is kind of important for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams are kind of just sitting outside the playoffs right now for their division. There are 4 teams ahead of them right now, but it's actually I believe it's the it's Mizuchi Esports who's in a much better spot compared to the Krillers. Krillers, yeah, if they win tonight, they need a lot of help. Mizuchi Esports, if they win tonight, they're putting themselves in their best spot, but you still see Black on John and Sussy Platypus is right there at 4-3. So a win by either of those two teams, unless it's anything more than a 2-1 or I mean, my bad, a 3-1 or 3-2, I don't think Mizuchi would end up making it to the playoffs here. So there's a lot on the line here tonight.
You think that kind of pressure, Billy, is going to crumble one of these teams, or is it going to turn them into a diamond?
I think it's going to turn them into a diamond. I mean, this has been a very competitive, not only this second half of the season, the midseason tournament. I mean, Krillers had a pretty good run there. I think that their form has been all right. I think that the patch really threw them into a little bit of a disarray, and they finally found their way. So I think that both teams right now are going to be really out for blood. I'm giving the edge to Krillers just based upon recency bias and seeing what they've had going on. I think they've gotten their act together.
Well, it's the time now, right, Headrammer, to get your act together. Especially with so much on the line. If you're able to pull it off, if you're able to make this happen, that's one heck of a way to, at the very least, place your mark on the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it helps to be able to be guaranteed in the playoffs, but teams are able to make playoffs and are really strong towards the end of a regular season, whether it be Overwatch League, CGL, or whatever, those teams usually go on to be pretty good. It pays off to be strong, well, at the end is honestly where it matters. Like, you need to be good enough throughout the year to make the playoffs, but when you really want to shine is right at the end, where you're trying to blaze through the playoffs into the finals.
That's also where teams like become the most scrappiest. That's where we get the most out of them. You're wringing every single last drop. And so hopefully we're going to be getting that spectacularity. And hopefully our teams are going to be ready for it. We're going to go ahead and jump into the lineups, starting off with Mizuchi. And right here we have Dance M2, Love, Glizzy, Silent Blaze, and Medic. So I'm going to start off with you, Dexatron, once again. Anything here, any names standing out to you?
No names really stand out to me, but I mean, when you have a character whose name is Glizzy, and they are at least showing us that they potentially main the Wrecking Ball, you know you are in for one hell of a show.
Yeah, I put that there.
You know what? Yeah, thank you for that, Headrammer. You know you're in for one hell of a show when you have that combo.
Headrammer, you chose Wrecking Ball. What's up with that?
Well, you know, Hippie on our productions is like, give me heroes, and I'm just like naming off things of each role. And I'm like, what will make an interesting lineup for a team? And I feel like this. I was really inspired by this, and this is what I want to see in my games.
Billy, I need your professional opinion on this lineup, though. Does Headrammer have the secret sauce that we just don't know about?
Headrammer is just one crumb away from becoming the little rat that he has in his PFP right now, because this is loco here as far as a lineup. But I mean, we've seen weirder things. I mean, we saw some weird crap last night in NECC with a Wrecking Ball coming out and having a lot of fun. So I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But yeah, no, I don't want. Come on, man.
Headrammer couldn't have at least made it believable. Come on, Headrammer.
What do you mean? They're all
honestly,
the only thing is a tank hero.
The only thing that really is out of place here is the Torbjorn.
We need to get April Fool's Torbjorn in a live game, right? We need to have the turret as a hat.
I was gonna say that we've missed a real opportunity to have the googly eyes here in the lineup for this week, since we're still playing on that.
Oh, good idea.
How did we miss that? How did we miss that? That's something to think about. Know. You know what? We can still try it on later down the road, though. It's not world. Our producer's lazy. Never mind. That's extra work for them.
Prod, get on that, Prod.
Yeah, Prod, come on. Krillers time.
He's gonna cut us off.
Yeah, we need to talk about Krillers before we get booted off the broadcast and we get sent over to the casters. But hey, look at the Krillers. We got Wavy Creature, Gamer, Solgi, Umredi, and Boosty Oreo. Ooh, I like that name. I like that name a lot, Billy. And I don't know why, but it makes me happy for some reason.
Right. And I mean, Wavy Creature is a very streaky DPS player. You'll also see a lot of swaps here in the DPS lineup until they decide on one that's actually working for them on the day. Umredi has a damn good flex support, and Boosty Oreo, you will see them flying around, putting more damage out than heal sometimes. And I think that's part of where a lot of their problems lie, is that, you know, we're not focusing on healing. We're focused on engaging. We're focused on trying to, you know, provide an extra amount of damage coming in. And then Sulgi just YOLOs. Sulgi YOLOs, regardless of what tank it is. Sulgi is going to be in their front line, and the supports are going to try and catch up to them.
I think that's going to be an issue throughout this series, Dexatron, right? Sometimes you have those tanks that are so hyper aggressive that trying to rein them in is a task in and of itself.
Yeah, it is, but you could have a team that absolutely knows how their tank's going to try to play around that over hyper aggressiveness, that YOLO kind of play style and lifestyle. But at the same time, one thing that we aren't really talking about here is the Krillers are an incredibly deep roster here. I mean, they have a sub for every position on the lineup here. So if Soloki is not working, you know, we could potentially see a sub out. But I've casted the Krillers before. This is a really, really good team. And basically, everyone kind of hit on the talking points I want to talk about with each and every individual player. Boosty Oreo was really the one that stood out to me in their mid-season tournament matchup against the Chihuahuas. even though that was a loss for them, they still really did impress me there. But yeah, I mean, having a tank that is hyper aggressive like that, you either learn how to play without your tank or you learn how to be hyper aggressive with your tank.
And here's the other great thing about this roster as well, Headrammer. This is actually a pretty diverse one when it comes to the nationality.
Yeah, they're a bit all over the place. I mean, we got Filipinos, Italians, someone who just listed themselves as Caucasian, Italians, Colombians.
At least we know what they are.
Wait, you're not gonna?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say the dude who's just a bean.
They're a substitute.
True, yeah.
Okay?
True, their player named Bean has listed their nationality as Bean. So,
hey, you know what? We respect beans in here. We respect everyone in CGL, and that's what makes, again, this what we do here amazing, and the amount and breadth of the representation that we get out of this game is also top notch. Now,
except for people that put beans on toast. I'm sorry, it's just
Oh no! Oh, why? I was going to try and bring up some CGL lore with pickles and pickles CGL, but
we don't.
Oh god, no,
we don't have.
We're cursed food topics right now.
We don't have we don't have an EU game, and now Headrammer's out here slandering the people of the UK.
I know
it's not slander.
It's not, I know. I agree with you. I agree with what he said.
Slander. It's
I agree
gross.
with
Who the hell puts hot beans on toast? Why?
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's terrible.
My gosh.
But like...
Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens when the NA desk is on here. This is the NA desk is just firing off on different cylinders. Okay, all right. Hey, I helm the EU desk as well. And you know what? I agree with all of it. Beans on toast, it's a... Yeah. Oh, it's a decision that is made across the world. Also, we made some decisions ourselves in our predictions. So the predictions are actually kind of all over the place, in all honesty. So we have Mizuchi believers and we have Kriller believers. So Billy, we're going to start off with you. You were singing the praises of Krillers. Some things that they needed to work on that hopefully they have been able to tune up. But you're a firm believer, a 3-1 believer, as a matter of fact.
I think that they have gotten their act together. That's the whole thing. I think that they are in good form now. I saw I did a VOD review with Soav, and it was their New Junk City map. They ended up losing it, but just the adaptability, I think, is the big thing that we're going to see come out from them. They're not afraid to change the moving parts until they find the right algorithm that works for them. So they may take a map to get themselves ready and raring, but I think they come out swinging, and they at least make it interesting to see who that number 4 spot is actually going to go to.
Ooh, yeah, that's what we want here at Friday Night Overwatch. We always want to have interesting. And now, Headrammer, you're also in the Krillers camp, but it's going to be a close series.
Yeah, I think it will be a close series. I mean, both these teams are very similarly ranked on the leaderboards. At the same time, we've had Krillers a few times here on Friday Night Overwatch, and I know they've told me directly that sometimes they get a bit like camera shy when they are streamed. And but it's been a few times now. I think everyone on their team is incredibly talented, and I think that additional exposure of being streamed more and more, I mean, that's really the best way to get over kind of being camera shy when your newbies watch, is just do it more. And I think it's been enough times now that I think they've found a way to overcome it.
You just got to get past it, right? You just got to move through it, and hopefully they've been able to get past that mental hurdle. Dexatron, you're in the same camp as myself, but a little bit more belief in Mizuchi.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the last couple games for these two teams here. The Krillers are on I believe it was a 4-game losing streak or a 3-game losing streak. Yeah, they did take Heroes Party to 5, but then they got, I believe, either swept or beat 3-1 the next week. Mizuchi, they did lose last week, but they've also beaten teams that are above them right now in Sussy Platypuses and the Heroes Party in sweeps. So this is a team that I think right now, knowing how important this game is for playoffs, will come out here. I don't think they're going to sweep. I was really debating a 3-0, but I think they're going to drop one map here and try to make it very interesting for the playoffs as some other games go not their way.
Ooh, okay. You say they're going to drop that one map. What do you think that map is going to be? Like, what game mode?
I'm going to say it's going to be hybrid.
Okay, you think it's going to be the hybrid. Okay, all right. I just had, I had to ask. I wanted to establish that. We got the desk predictions in. what about our casters? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? And what is going to be possible here? Tiny Shiny and Ray are both 3-1 in Mizuchi. So they're along here with Dexatron as well. So we've got the casters, and we've got 2 people on the desk believing in the Mizuchi dominance. But Billy, you shaking your head over there. You still, I love that. You got that faith in the Krillers.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's going to be a Krillers win tonight. They've got to get it done. They've got the most to lose here, because if they don't win, they're completely done. And then, well, we'll see them next year.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to pull it out. Headrammer, I got to ask real quick before we send it over to the casters. Are you okay? You got like the sun shining on you. You're at low
I'm working my tan.
You're working on your tan. Are you?
I think the sun might be messing up your camera.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just, the astrological effects of sunlight. It's supposed to make us all better and all, but currently it's staining my face.
Astrological effects of the sun?
Oh, look, the moon has its effects on the ocean, the sun has its effects on my face. It's just how it works.
The eclipse isn't until Monday.
Hell!
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Dex, because, when my parents visited me this last week from out of town, and when they were there, they gave me some eclipse glasses because it's going to go through here in Texas, and we're going to have a total eclipse for where we are here. And then they texted me this morning saying, "Just letting you know, don't use those. We got a safety recall from Amazon, so I'm not going to be using those."
That seems like a horrendous thing. At the very least, you got that in the nick of time. But imagine going out there, looking at the amazing eclipse, the miracles of nature, and you're getting your eyes fried. That is scary to think about. I'm glad you're safe now, Headrammer, but you're not safe from your own son.
There was the end of the text message from my parents said, "Text me when you get this." So they sounded like they were pretty concerned.
Who else is gonna see the eclipse?
Not me.
Not you? That's not in my area either.
I will.
Oh, you will?
Sam, me and you live in the same state. We
do?
Yeah.
Quick, can you make sure you type your address on your camera for
yeah. We'll
no.
Well, we can meet up for some. We can meet up and cry about not.
You guys can have a live death segment when you're both on in the same couch.
Yeah. Billy, you're got Jack in the Box over there. That's a very familiar looking shirt, by the way.
Yeah. What we need to do is we need to have Billy tape it over the Jack in the Box part, because it's not sponsored, but for our stream.
I mean, we could be sponsored, Jack in the Box. Wink.
Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And I mean, if anybody wants to sponsor the desk, we are absolutely very thankful.
My PayPal is alex@alexwalker.com. Feel free to send money whenever you would like.
Or just feel free to send messages to Headrammer. He gets lonely, so.
Please.
That is not true.
You know what our first sponsorship should be? Headrammer, you should lead this. It should be pistachios.
There we go, yeah. Look, the world's largest pistachio. If you need more marketing, we got you. Wait, hold on.
Hippie, pop it up.
There it is. I see it in the back. We get
2 nuts.
We get the double nut. I've never seen a man so happy about 2 big nuts on him.
Look, there's something for everyone.
Hey, you know what? Okay, can we get the whole story? How was it? How was the giant pistachio?
It was for a tourist destination. It was actually not too bad because we were kind of just driving by and decided to stop. One of the people on our trip really wanted to go, and one thing was actually nice. Stuff was not too expensive there.
It wasn't.
No, there was a whole thing. You go up and get this pistachio ice cream, and it was like $6 max, something like that.
So they did have an arrangement of pistachio of nut related.
Oh yeah, there was the pistachio ice cream you could get there. There was a whole wine thing. There was a whole gift shop.
A whole line to get nuts. Oh my god, we've gone off the rails. I love it.
If everyone's
to the casters quickly.
if you're wondering why we're taking our dear sweet time to get to the casters, one of our teams is having some difficulties getting into the lobby. It's 2024 and we haven't quite figured out how to get in there on time. So We're just filling right now, chat. We do thank you for your patience as we get everything sorted out. So, Headrammer, well, how would you rate the giant nut out of 10?
Well, the first one was with wanted to start a pistachio cult. That's what they wanted to do. And so they had they went up to the pistachio and started bowing down in front of it when there's people just everywhere. And I forget what rank they told me I was in the cult. Apparently we're starting out pretty low because I'm not a founding member, unfortunately.
Wait, what would be the highest rank of the pistachio cult?
I forget what they named themselves. It was like an Archduke Wizard or something like that.
Archduke Wizard? That's so boring.
I know. I asked if I could be a wizard, but I was told I was like a plebeian or something at the start.
A plebeian. Anyways.
I know. Apparently I got to pay my dues first.
All right, you know what? We've had enough. We've had enough talk about pistachios.
You can't see it on screen.
Is that Funyuns?
It's spicy queso Funyuns.
I love those. Those are so good. You can't see them though because of the green screen, but
I'm gonna.
Onion flavored rings. At the very least, we get to see that. We get to see the onion flavored rings, and we get to see the rings themselves. All right, we've had enough shenanigans here on the desk. We've talked about onion rings. We've talked about pistachio nuts. We've talked about eclipses, and we actually even at some point talked about Overwatch somewhere in there. We're gonna give it to our casters, Tiny, Shiny, and 2 Tryhard Ray. They're gonna take over because if we don't, this entire desk will be on fire. So casters, over to you.
It's fine.
We're already on fire.
Hey, thank you so much, Sam. We're happy to save you from the nut jokes any time of the day. I'm so glad to be back here on the desk, Tiny Shiny, 2 Tryhard Ray. It's been a minute since we've been up here together, and we have quite the game to look forward to today. And, you know, we let the desk. They broke it down pretty dang well for us, Ray. But both of you, we had the exact same predictions heading into this.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Tiny. I am a little nervous about our predictions. I mean, we are matched up with Dexatron, who's been pretty good on this season about predding, but the one time he has been wrong, he was on the desk. So I'm not sure how I feel about that now that we have the same preds as him, but I'm feeling good about my pick. We're going to have to see, but let's go ahead and pull up what map pools we have in store for you guys tonight. We will be starting out on Control, which is Nepal, and we will for sure be going to Eichenwald, Saravasa, and New Queen Street is our map number 4. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how this is going to develop for these two teams because there's just so much at stake here. Both teams still have the hopes of making the playoffs alive.
Yeah. A loss here, end of your playoff journey. It's why it's even more important for both Mizuchi and the Krillers to find that win today. And even then, that win isn't guaranteed. In the case of Mizuchi, who still have that positive record, you're going to need to win this, and it's going to have to be clean. 3-0, maybe a 3-1 to come out on top of this, but it's desperate times for both of them. It's do or die. Their seasons being on the line is some of the top competition you're going to find in our console leagues here at CGL. Map pool, though, specifically, Ray, Nepal to kick us off. Very brawl-oriented, maybe with the exception of our good buddy Sanctum, but for the most part, teams seem to have a general idea of what to expect.
Everybody loves a little bit of Sanctum. Everyone loves getting booped into the pit of darkness, don't you? I think everyone loves a little good Sanctum. I mean, that's when you can pull out some little interesting, little cheeky little compositions. So I'm excited to see where this goes. But we have seen in this meta, generally speaking, when we do play brawl types compositions, it tends to be Orisa or it tends to be Ramatra. Sometimes Maga's thrown in there a little bit, but Orisa has kind of taken the lead in the tank role when it comes to those brawl compositions. So I expect to see a lot of that when it comes to this map, but you know, anything goes when it comes to the map of Sanctum, so I'm not holding my breath when it comes to that map.
We'll talk about that when we get there. It's the wild card of Nepal, to say the very least. And, you know, we did talk a little bit about both you and I, as well as during the desk segment of specifically Chef Billy, how we're looking at Krillers. Their main strength, why he thinks that they're going to win, is because of their ability to adapt mid-game. They have a very wide roster with players that have a wide range of flexibility. They use that to their strengths, but also that can result in them getting a slow start. And that's being on Nepal, as flippy as a control point can be. I mean, these are some of the big things we're going to want to watch out for today.
Yeah, I agree 100%. As Billy mentioned, if Krillers lose here, it is definitely over. Mizuchi, if they lose, they still could, with some help from other teams, still make it. But when it comes to the win column, I think Mizuchi with a win has a much better chance at making the playoffs than Kriller does with the win, because they're already one game above Krillers. They're pretty much in a tie with all those teams above them outside of Short Bus. So they're in a situation where if they get a win here with a good map score, they got a great chance as the rest of these games are rounding out in the playoffs as final week of the season. So everything's on the line here.
And as you said, both these teams middle of the pack in terms of the standings currently are. A tie here would be absolutely insane, but also not a safe spot by any means. If you're the Krillers right now, Mizuchi far and above have that advantage, given the past results and the fact that they've beaten two teams that are currently above them within the standings. Those are a lot of the reasons that we personally believe that Mizuchi was going to come out on top of this series today. But it's the game of Overwatch, Ray. It's unpredictable. We never know what actually is going to happen until we are within the game confines themselves. Nepal, the map to start us all off, where Orisa has been running rampant around these parts. The Battle Cattle runs the town now, and especially on some of these maps, such as Village and Shrine, we can see the Battle Cattle make an appearance.
Yeah, as Billy would say when it comes to a match like this, any given Friday, any team can win, given, any situation, any day. You just come onto the server, you play your game, and we'll see how it turns out. As giving you a little quick sneak peek, we will be starting on Village for our first map. So very excited. I think, Brawl is going to be that name of the game for both of these teams. As we're getting ready to transition you guys straight in to this map. Since we're about to start here in a second, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of the highlights of what we're seeing. We're seeing the Krillers. They're on this Orisa composition. They're going with a May Sojourn. So they're going to have this May to hunker down on the point.
What is that mascot?
The gamer's going to be looking at several angles looking for headshots. Instead of Mizuchi, are going to pull out that Olga. As I mentioned, we've seen this come out recently in this patch, and they're going to go Tracer Sojourn. So the Tracer Sojourn has been the DPS duo of choice in a lot of high-level games.
But what happened to Dance? Was that a Javelin immediately as they peeked their head around the corner? Bit of an issue. Trade out for Solgi, though. Arguably the best one of the day. Mizuchi still very much in this game, regardless if they're down two of their DPS. Loss of a tank here, significantly more in comparison to the damage dealers. Still, though, Lizzie doesn't have the health to persist any longer, and will opt for a Kriller's first cap.
Yeah, but Dance is going to get the XD pick on a gamer, so this is Lizzie's opportunity to get in and make something happen.
They're going to try to push this one up. It was a Maywall set up, and actually, it ended up killing Moretti. Wavy Creature just sacrificed the Baptiste so the rest of the team could get out. But what sustain do you have with the main supports no longer at your backs? Well, you don't have any to answer that question. Quick, easy cleanup for Mizuchi.
Yeah, and Dance getting those exiting picks onto the enemy Sojourn is going to bid Mizuchi great fortunes and great percentage gain. So now they have the ability to hold these high grounds defensively, and because, we're in Brawl situation, we have the Lucio. Rotations are going to be the key for Mizuchi being able to outlast a lot of these Orisa cooldowns, trying to get out that Javelin spin, trying to get out that Fortify, and making sure you're always paying attention to where they're rotating. See, look, they baited, and now they're going main.
Made an after wrap around the backside of the point. They haven't got a ton of value out of this May. It's all about forcing these cooldowns. And now the pulse bump from Love is stuck onto one, but did the damage to take them all down. Love cleaning up the field. An explosive return from Mizuchi.
Yeah, that's the value of the Tracer, getting that pulse bomb and being able to put extreme amount of pressure onto a backline, especially a Baptiste, who's less mobile than, say, a Moira. You do have this situation for Krillers. You've been playing this May, and now this is where it pays dividends. You're going to have this Blizzard online, and you have to take full advantage of it because you're playing this May. That's the importance of playing the May, is getting that amazing ultimate online.
Wavy Creature has been waiting for this moment the entire time. They have selected the Ice Demon. It actually needs to come to fruition though, but okay, you could just pop Glizzy like a balloon. That shall work as well. Stick Gamer behind that, and Krillers straight back to frying once again. They don't even have to use the Blizzard here. Excellent efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, it's very well played. You think for the side of Mizuchi, you would have seen something like that coming, knowing that Amplification Matrix was online, but they were just smart, got out. Love's already built up to another pulse bomb, so we're going to be facing quite the fight here in Tiny. Both teams locked and loaded in the ult economy. Who's going to get aggressive and make the first opening play?
It's going to be the Blizzard first, but it catches a whole lot of nothing. We talked about how important that ultimate is, but it's gone now. Mizuchi has all of the tools of the world to fight back, and they only need to win one more battle. They're doing it, touching every single Q on the board. That's 4 from their side for now. Only 1 to remain. It doesn't even seem like they're going to need it. It's Krillers, the resources were depleted. Only Wavy Creature currently stands near the objective, but it's just another long stagger, denying any further chances of contention.
Yeah, you might get a chance here with some of the people coming back from spawns if you're Krillers, but your May going down late in that fight is going to bold disaster. Coalescence comes on like Lucio trying to touch, and it's just not going to happen. Mizuchi Esports cleans up and takes map number 1.
And Mizuchi, a rather tricky start, losing themselves to Krillers' explosiveness early on in that first part of the map, but they're able to come back. We could see how well these fights were planned out. Love had a highlight play of their own, and by the time they saved up their ultimates, they managed their economy well. They could press as many Qs as they want, knowing one fight was all was needed to take the point. And here they are, Ray.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing extremely well, and I think the DPS have been the difference. I think Love on this Tracer has been absolutely insane. I mean, look at their DPS. They're exactly the same. They almost have the same damage and the same KD. Like, they're just on a different level right now, and the value out of the May, we just have not seen that so far, and I think one of the big reasons is we're going to need better May walls. You need to be able to isolate this Mauga.
Wavy Creature being on a character that typically has to be the one setting up your team. The May is a win condition, yet Wavy Creature hasn't been able to deliver on that expectation yet. But Glizzy, though, in a ton of trouble, got really low, but the disruption was enough to buy Love space in order to fight. We know Mauga doesn't die very quick at all, and just like that, the impacts of the Tracer are shown.
Yeah, and they're playing their cooldowns very well for Glizzy on that Mauga. I mean, being able to use that rush to get out of there and onto the point, and it was able to buy him space and time to where he was going to have Cardiac Overdrive online if things got bad. And now you're going to be able to hold these doors and rotate around as Mizuchi's going to look to just now go all the way around and just meet them on the high ground area over here.
Oh, but they don't have Medic, though. That's a big, big problem. If you lose your main support like that, you're booking it for the hills. You don't have the resources to sustain. Maybe Love can dance around the objective, get some percentage, but at the end of the day, you want to back up, but no! Somehow Unready ends up going down to Love. Nonetheless, Krillers, they thought that they were safe. They got too confident, too, feeling like they were at home, and it's just like that. They're sent back to a new one at spawn.
And it's these exiting picks time and time again from Mizuchi. Just when you think the fight is over, they come through, whether it's Love or Dance with an exiting pick, forcing Krillers to not be able to take any of the space. Look, they had no chance to do what Mizuchi's doing right now because Love got that pick. And now you get a hold here, pulse bomb. You have sound barrier, things get bad. Mizuchi's in a great spot.
Well, that would stick. Well, as pretty as it was, as a result of any eliminations, Mizuchi holding at this choke have the advantage. The Maywall already forced out. Glizzy is handing him health to spare, but the cage fight actually seconds them off even further. They wanted to be Krillers, dumping every tool that they have at the point, hoping to find any more, but this is the same for Mizuchi. Too much. Those 3 ultimates popped instantaneously to make up for the loss of their tank. So just now, Krillers are getting onto the objective and beginning that cleanup. An expensive fight on both sides.
Yeah, that was 4 ultimates thrown into that fight by Mizuchi, and Krillers used 3 of their own. So, but however, you're gonna have an Ant Matrix, you're gonna have a overclock if you're the Krillers. So now that they have this situation, no exiting picks from Mizuchi, you're in a great spot. You get to hold these doors, and now these May walls can be super effective.
There you go. This is where the May starts to get value. You isolate one player or another, have an Ant Matrix to go ahead and back it up. Problem is the damage hasn't really been hitting. Krillers have done their best to kind of fry into Glizzy, and with that, you don't really get anywhere fast. Solgi ends up getting nothing out of their cage fight too, and just like that, the Krillers are back in a losing situation. They lose already again with Quake and Love playing off towards the sides, and it's Mizuchi in control again.
Yeah, and that was all about Love. Love played a huge distraction factor in the backline, on point, forcing Krillers to have to look back and pay attention, not allowing the cap, which allowed Mizuchi to take advantage of the splitness that Love caused for the Krillers.
I mean, that pulse bomb again, it forces out Lamp early. Mizuchi, sitting on a coalescence to go ahead and use. There's not much that really can be done. They're holding the Krillers in their own spawn. Somebody has to get to the point, and they sure might. But what can you do if you're burned down to a pile of ash? Glizzy holding down the front lines, knowing that's all that they had to do in this battle. Krillers staggered, broken, and beaten as Mizuchi planting their flag on Nepal for map number 1 win.
And again, it was just very impressive. You basically forced the Krillers to play your game, Tiny. You forced them off that Orisa. You got them on to the Malga. And again, I just don't think the Mei was finding enough value time and time again. We did see the one spot where they finally got some good walls going when they're able to hold defensively, but you weren't getting that consistently enough when you have Love on this Tracer, just not only finding kills, but being a huge just distraction, like just a colorful, just figment in the back of their head, like, I'm over here, you gotta pay attention to me, and it was just playing so well in the favor of Mizuchi.
I don't even think this is something that's necessarily bad on Wavy Creature. The Mei, in theory, can work. But when you have a Tracer like Love on your enemy team and no other Tracer to realistically contest that, that's a problem. You're essentially giving Love freedom to rain terror onto your backline. You saw how many times Ready was the first player going down, and that is a major issue for Krillers when they're trying to push in to take these fights at chokes, and suddenly the Mei just can't get any value at all.
Yeah, and it did feel like when they did match in the Malga composition, there were too many times for Krillers where their Malga was separated from the team when they went for their rush, and the rest of the team was not able to follow up. I mean, it was fair play to Mizuchi because they kind of collapsed knowing the Malga went in, and they had some players who could, go after the team that was separated. They just collapsed on Malga too quickly. So, I mean, just looking at those stats, man, it is absolutely insane. Dance on this Sojourn is incredible amounts of work. 10 final blows with 26 elims and the damage to back it up as well.
There's no doubt either. I mean, we've talked about Love. It is kind of a Love show, but Dance playing an incredible role themselves with the Sojourn sitting in these more backline positions. You mentioned these exit frags that he kept grabbing, and it is the most important thing that won their team fights when arguably Mizuchi should have been long gone on that map. Do want to shout out the Lucios. Quake was on fire after that very first round, Ray. He didn't have a single death.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. The Lucio was paying dividends, and we always talk about these Lucios, they're wall riding looking for big boobs, but it was just they used their speed boost so well to rotate into advantageous positions time and time again. We saw the one time where they were up at the spawn doors, realized they were going wide through the other door coming out of spawn. They used their speed boost to go all the way around and meet them at high ground again. They just were using that speed boost to its fullest extent.
And not even just that, but the general positioning and decision making really stood out to me. I'm thinking back to one particular moment on the village where Mizuchi was playing on the high ground, and as soon as they had the Mei wall out, they dropped down on the other side. You had the immortality field pushed out, and they all just kind of sandwich them in between, and they went kablooey. And it's plays like that where Mizuchi show their true understanding for what Team Overwatch at the highest level can look like, and it really does start to throw them out. Do want to reference back to one more point we made earlier in the day, though. Krillers, historically, can get off to a slower start because they're working on finding out what pieces of their team, their composition, really start to work together. And with Chef Billy's words of confidence, it does tell me that they are a team that has the capability to understand what they did, what went wrong here, and how they can change it for map number 2.
I agree. They had a lot of flashes of some brilliance. I think back to that fight where they popped the Ant Matrix and absolutely blew up the entire team of Mizuchi. Their big issue, once again, is just allowing those exiting picks, which allow Mizuchi to easily re-engage in these fights. If they can just clean that up, I think they have a real chance to get back into this series. As we head to map number 2, as we highlighted earlier in this cast, map number 2, Hybrid, we're going to Eichenwald, and this is where Dexatron kind of made his big statement. He called 3-1 Mizuchi, and he said Hybrid is where Mizuchi loses their map.
Which is interesting to me. Having seen neither of these teams prior to Nepal here, I have confidence in Mizuchi to keep pulling up the way that they have, especially if you can stick dance on a section of this high ground. Their positioning on the Sojourn has been outstanding, and along with their decision making, knowing where to hold, I have little concern heading into this match, which makes me very curious to what that actually is going to look like. And even then, Ray, they're making a change to their lineup too.
Yeah, we got Silent Blaze coming in on the support line. And I mean, to me, it's going to be interesting to see, because we come to Eichenwald where the second point, controlling high ground, is so important. But when you think of first point and third point, it's very close quarters. You can play a lot more brawl. I mean, poke is still available defensively. But that's going to be the key to me, is when we do get to that second point, do these teams elect to make some kind of swaps, as Krillers making a swap of their own on the tank line, Skittle Forks coming in for Eichenwald.
First of all, wonderful name. I don't know how you came up with that. Maybe they eat Skittles with a fork. If that is the case, I'm very concerned and have some questions. But you know what? You do you. Skittles can be a cereal with a fork.
I am one of the mind of if you eat Skittles with a fork, you need to go talk to like a psychiatrist or something. Like something's wrong there. Like,
oh boy.
I mean, and how does that work? Do you just get one at a time, or do you make sure there's one Skittle on each prong of the fork?
Them?
Like,
would you stab Skittles? I feel like I'd break the fork. Those things are solid, man.
I don't even know. I mean, it poses a lot of questions just from one player coming into the lobby. As we see Mizuchi coming out on this defense for Eichenwald, they are going to have Silent Blaze play this Baptiste, and on more of a map like Eichenwald, where you're going to be a little bit more further back, especially defensively, you're going to be wanting to play more sustain. I think the Baptiste with that Immortality field is going to work out really well, and they will keep Love and Dance on that Tracer Sojourn, which I think is just going to be the better option when it comes to the DPS line. As you see Krillers beginning, yes, Hippie. We all agree, do not eat Skittles with a fork. But that's the one thing I'm noticing, Tiny, is they are going to match Krillers with the DPS line with the Sojourn Tracer, but they're playing the Kiriko, not the Baptiste. So that's going.
That's unfortunate.
That happened.
That did happen. Tasted their own medicine, really. That's exactly what happened to Dance in the very first fight of this series. Only fitting that Wavy Creature gets the similar treatment with the momentum that Mizuchi has built up. We can't even comment on what they've done so far because it ended as quickly as it started.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can go back to this Kiriko versus the Baptiste. I mean, the Baptiste does have that Immortality field available. So basically, you're playing the game of the Immort field versus the Suzu. Suzu comes online more often, but Immortality field can definitely last longer. And so it's basically going to be, how do these teams take advantage of the utility that these two supports are providing to their team?
And also keep Ready alive. They had a difficult time in that past map. I mean, even now, Love is shredding through Gamer. There's only so much that can be done. Love is just a thorn in the side that slowly has been turning into a spear. The Krillers haven't been dealing with it, and Gamer loses out on that duel. That's the low button for good old Glizzy, stomping and chomping here against the Krillers. And they're getting a first-class ticket straight back to the spawn. And once again, off a Love opening pick.
Yeah, Love is just playing incredible on this Tracer, completely distracting not only Gamer, but a lot of that time they had Boostio kind of and Ready kind of in the backline distracted, and it's allowing Krillers to get early pickoffs, and once you win that Tracer duel, it's just green lights go, you're up one in the fight, and Mizuchi's taking advantage, and Love has a pulse bomb already, Tiny.
To be expected from the amount of work that this guy is pumping in. Glizzy, though, has to be careful. Get some healing, my guy, before you decide to re-engage. Almost overstayed his welcome. You know who did? It was Dance M2, but won't go down without that even trade. Mizuchi have been in the resource game longer, and as a result, the Amp Matrix is all they need to book themselves another win.
However, you did gain one chevron, one tick. I mean, Sam likes to call them chevrons. I call them ticks. You got one tick
heard that.
onto that point if you are the Krillers. So that's definitely got to be feeling good. And you got that Amp Matrix out. You didn't commit any ultimates to that fight. Love also used that Pulse Bomb. So you get to come back and you're going to have a decisive ult advantage coming in this next fight.
Right now, this is just Mizuchi. They're playing with the fighters they've already won. They wanted a magic Kitsune rush, which is where this cage fight comes in handy. This sound barrier is all that you need. Boostio hasn't been able to build one up yet. Problem is contesting the objective. Blizzy was the only one that could eventually reach it. Now they have to walk their way to Creature, but they're not walking through. They're falling over backwards. What an overclock small room. No way for Mizuchi to break through the barrier that was set. The Krillers have made their first mark of progress in this series.
Yeah, to me, Mizuchi backing up into that small room and using the cage fight there, I don't know if that was the smartest of decisions. It just allowed the Curlers to go get aggressive, take that corner away, use one of their own, and then you're just firing down a doorway, and there's not much Mizuchi can really do about it, while Krillers can kind of spread out, their healers can stay out of line of sight and heal.
Woo!
Woo! Pulse bomb in the back pocket as Krillers got Gamer on the Sombra now. The question is, are you... I'm not sure how I feel about that. I still
like
think
it.
Love can run circles around the Sombra.
Oh yeah, as a Tracer one trick, Tracer can absolutely roll Sombra. If you are not playing with your team, if you are not playing with a brain. So it's a big task that Gamer has at their hands, and in order to put a dent in just what Love has been able to accomplish thus far. Krillers, they've gotten about halfway through the objective, but never control the high ground. Blizzy wrapping around the back, Love holding the top. They eventually just got squished between the Mizuchi's team again.
Yeah, see, Love once again gets the pick onto the Sombra. And we even saw at one point Love got hacked and they still couldn't follow up on that. It's just, I mean, the Sombra, I mean, are you looking to hack the Malga here? Because that's not really getting you much either.
It's a puzzling pick for sure, and what do you even do? Mizuchi aren't letting themselves off the gas. They're at the spawn using an app matrix, Ray. This is a statement they're sending to the Krillers. Like, you can try to counter us out, but it's just not working right now.
Touch the spawn door challenge complete for Mizuchi. That was absolutely insane. And they got both their DPS ultimates online to boot. However, Boostio will have this sound barrier to be able to combat it. There's the pulse bomb, finds nothing.
Oh, it's a rare miss from Love. He's managed to hit everyone so far. Losing out on Silent Blaze. Massive blow. But Mizuchi has set up on this defense. Perhaps an overclock from Dance too, but this one's not going to be that anytime soon. Anything's possible though with Love and Glizzy still alive. Their synergy has been incredible so far. And Ray, despite significant losses, they managed to pull it back.
Just like old time.
That was insane. I mean, again, they continue to do like these sandwich plays time and time again, Tiny, where they're just having some people go through castles, some people come around outside and fighting the pigs, but Krillers back already gonna have the EMP online.
This EMP has got to be massive here. You're not going to do it when a sound barrier's in play, though. Boostio opts not to match it in the end, which is okay. It's more or less just an eco trade. Krillers have one full fight and 5 ults to take it.
Yeah, however, your time is starting to dwindle down. You get the pick on the Dance, but getting that late stagger on his Skittle Forks is not going to bode well. However, one of the most important ultimates Mizuchi has in their back pocket is going to be this cage fight, but you have the EMP that can completely just cancel this out. So I think Krillers, with 5 ultimates coming online, this is their best chance to finally start getting some good progress on this car. And this time they're going to the castle. I like this.
They don't have Boostio! That sound barrier was so necessary toward their success, and now their supports have crumbled beneath them. The sand castle all shall fall down. The fight that they've been waiting to take all game, Ray, is blown up to smithereens.
It is just crumbling in front of them, Tiny. 10 seconds left. They still have 5 ultimates, but can they touch?
No! The cage fight puts them all in time out. Yes, there is a touch going through, but with what resources? Gamer has 3 HP and a dream that has turned into an utter nightmare. The Krillers are cleaning up, yes, but Mizuchi, they have control of this payload. Wavy Creature, overclock, last-ditch effort. One of these shots has to land, and they won't the melee. So go ahead, bonk. Love back to the spawn rooms. Krillers managed to pull through against all odds with so much more left to go at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you get a fair exchange of ultimates too if you're Krillers, so you gotta be feeling pretty good because you were able to bank this EMP. EMP versus Overclock. Who will come through for their team? Will the Krillers get this second point, or does Mizuchi stop them in their tracks?
Dance M2. It's been stellar on the Sojourn, but if they can't even use the ultimate, it's going to be a major issue. Gamer EMP gets the job done, but everyone in Mizuchi, they're still on their feet. They're ready for the turn dance, and all it takes is one click of the button. That's already one gone down. Going to the back line for more, but with burned before that is even an opportunity. It buys the space. Mizuchi re-engage at their own will. Only a couple members of Krillers working their way around as an objective and attempt to make this payload go the couple meters it needs. But this is where it shall halt. Mizuchi will get the stop just shy of the second objective.
I will say for the Krillers, I think getting the cart where it was a very important meterage they're able to gain because they were stuck at the bridge. Being able to at least get it across the bridge on the final point to point B, that's at least a place where you feel like, okay, this is probably, I mean, it's going to be tough, but this is at least a position where it can be holdable. If you kind of got stuck at that first bridge, I feel like it would be looking pretty bleak for them to be able to tie up this series. So Mizuchi has an opportunity here. If they can deliver this payload and go up 2-0, they're going to just make a huge statement. And as I mentioned, for them to be able to make playoffs, their map difference is going to mean a lot. So getting a 3-0 win is actually kind of important for them.
Yeah. Mizuchi, this is an important game for them, but Krillers, we also mentioned, have shown signs of life, signs of hope. They've punished Mizuchi's biggest mistakes, and that's something, especially at the highest levels of gameplay, that you're looking for. First, it was that cage fight that forced Mizuchi's backs up against the wall on point A, and then they just completely overextended into the spawn rooms, where the Krillers were able to beat them at their own game. It's fights like this, Ray, that the Krillers need to keep churning out. There's only so much you can do banking on your opponents to make mistakes. You need to force them out on your own. Perhaps the Echo Reaper is the way to do it.
I mean, it's a lot of burst damage. If Mizuchi can outlast it, they're going to be in a good spot. But they are facing down an anti-nade as well from Ready. So it's just a lot of cooldowns you got to force out if you're Mizuchi. But if you can outlast it, man, you're in a great spot.
Cool. Glizzy said, one look at that Ana, I was like, nah, I'm out. Dipped away, but oh no, the head of Wavy Creature is rolling around the ground somewhere in Eichenwald. Mizuchi are so good at these exit frags, looking like they're retreating, then coming back in, roaring. Dance M is cleaning house despite having so little support from their teammates. This guy simply cannot be stopped. The grandma does not stand a chance against a Sojourn player of this caliber. I mean, the team's almost already back. The Sleep Dart goes through, but I'm ready. What are you trying to do? You have absolutely no health to work with. There's no way Dance M actually loses this. As cool as that was, and I want to give it to Ready, you don't have the objective. That one belongs to Mizuchi.
That it was very unfortunate, but once again, opening pick after opening pick that Mizuchi keeps finding. Doesn't matter if they've lost one, they're going to find two, and one of them is going to be an exit pick, which just allows them to re-engage that much faster. Love's going to have this pulse bomb. I mean, I liked what they're getting out of these anti-nades, but they don't have enough follow-up with it to take advantage of them.
And swap up to the Sojourn is good. Build more control of this high ground, kind of this poke with the burst potential, but again, I fear for their ability in terms of the healing. Like, who is going to contest this payload? Where are you really looking for your win conditions right now? Love has another Pulse Bomb online. Has been perfect with them so far. Stuck it onto a Wraithing Reaper. We'll have to dip on out, but Mizuchi are still pushing the payload. Glizzy's going to have a cage fight here in just a moment, and if we know Glizzy, they're getting stuck in this room with the Mauga. The App Matrix isn't doing anything at all for the Krillers, because it's Mizuchi shredding on through the payload, just meters away. Can Krillers even get a touch?
I think they should be able to get a touch, maybe. Oh, I don't know. Some of their faster players are not available. It looks like, oh yeah, that's it. No touches.
We doubted Mizuchi coming back onto Hybrid. Dexatron is still the doubt in our head, but what this turned into was an absolute speed run of Eichenwald, Ray.
That was absolutely ridiculous, and I'm still not big on the Reaper coming into this, especially with a Mauga composition. I'm still gonna beat my chest on this. I just think Tracer is so good right now.
She is.
And I mean, they tried, but it just felt like they could not win this duel against Love, so they're trying to find another answer. I think, the Echo wasn't a bad idea. I think going against the Mauga, it's tough. If you could get them to that below half mark, then you're really cooking, but it's really hard to be able to do that. And when you're playing a Reaper and Echo like that, Tracer can easily just free farm you in the backline. And as we saw, Dance can just look to get you with that hit scan on the Echo, and he was the one who got the opening pick to open up first point.
Krillers, they keep trying to dig for gold, swapping out the tools that they use, but have been yet to strike it. Mizuchi have been one step ahead when it comes to their team play. I mean, things like this, when you're sandwiching players together, you have the ultimate combinations online, and just the sheer speed at which Mizuchi are forcing this game to go. I mean, Krillers don't have much of a chance themselves to make that statement. And once again, what do you do about the Glizzy Love duo?
I mean, just look at the deaths on the side of Mizuchi, man. 3, 3, 3, and 4. I mean, that is just sticking out like a sore thumb to me. I'm just like, man, these guys are not dying when you compare it to the side of Krillers, man. It is just a steamroll that we witnessed on Eichenwald. The big question is, can they recover? Because that was a beatdown, because they're going to have to, as the reverse sweep has to come online for them.
And it's been a tough return when you have players like Dance M2 just uncontested, really. And it's this synergy that they've managed to work with, where Mizuchi operating on the same hive mind, yet in different parts of the map, overwhelming Krillers. And one of those big examples, it almost doesn't feel fair to compare Wavy Creature to Dance M2 because of the difference in pressure that they've been under. Wavy Creature has been a prime target from Love, honestly, as we saw throughout Eichenwald, and there's very little that he's been able to do as a result. You shut down this one major win condition that you're banking on these Sojourn hitting these tanky shots. There's little that Krillers have been able to come up with for a response.
Yeah, I agree 100%. The one thing I will say related to Dance, to me, Dance is playing fantastic, but it's not like he's taking these insane, crazy angles where I'm just like, man, how does the team even think of me? He's mostly just playing close to the vest, playing with his team, hitting really good shots. So I feel like if you're Krillers, you got to find a way to put some pressure onto that Sojourn and not allow them to find these opening picks. But we're going to have to find out as we're going to take a little bit of a break. Hopefully this guy gives the Krillers time to readjust and find their way back in the series. It is 2-0 Mizuchi Esports. We'll be right back after this.
Lots of love.
Open your eyes, let's begin. Hey, it's me, it's Arissa. The audience don't win. What's up, gamers? It's CGL Lowlights, and that is, honest to God, sheer cold in the lobby. Even though, being as professional as they are, they still remember the names of the other, like, they're up against Moggers. Let's jump into map number 1. Alright, starting off, bit of Ram versus Ram. Oh, okay. How did you get picked so early? What happened here? Wait, you just get picked by a... You just get headshot by the other Kiri, and you're just kind of sitting in the Ram. There's the culprit. There it is. I reckon this is going to be it. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. What about culprit number 2? Yeah, this one seems a little bit more on target. Boom. Dinkies. Oh, wait, was it 2 body shots? Oh, no. Wait, what did you TP to? What did you do? What did you do here? Why did you just TP 2 feet? Are you that worried about NKZ? Huh? But why? God, putting the shield up behind to block off his heals from PP, very, very strong there from our boy Nevj. Nevj. And the award for easiest name to say does not go to this guy. This seems like an unideal choice, but that's okay. There's always the Sky. Oh no. Wait. What is this projectile arc, bro? What happens here? Oh, I see. Turbo Smooth is it creates an opening for this guy to just rush down PP. Or Ilp. Ilp. Listen, if you've got a name like this. Oh, you die with all your cooldowns as well. Not just an undecipherable name, undecipherable cooldown usage as well. It's the full package, ladies. We simply do not know. Yeah, everyone's going this way, and the Sojourn slides. Yeah. That's gonna be an ill-informed choice, my brother. And here are 4 reasons why that's an ill-informed choice. What is bro eating? Homie is javelin spinning the voices. My demons, I must stop the incoming fire. I guess they're looking for the Sojourn fire that's coming in, hoping to eat like a rail or something. There's no way. I have bad news for you, Strebble. You've made a poor job of dodging. Wait, where's that Suzu going? Where is that Suzu going? Okay, so we missed the stick on Condi. And I believe Strebble gets confused about where it's coming from. Ilpy does throw out the Suzu. Oh, yeah. Ilpy has a favorite child. And it's not Strebble.
As the playoffs continue to draw nearer, Mizuchi and the Krillers are making their final stand within the regular season in order to secure their spot in the post. But Billy, with the way that this series has been going, Mizuchi up 2-0. It's going to take quite the comeback from the Krillers in order to secure a place.
That it will, Tiny, that it will. And we talked about with Mizuchi feeling like they have a stranglehold on this series, trying to punch a ticket into the playoffs. Map difference could come down to be a major player. So looking to get out of this series with a nice, clean 3-0 is going to be of the most importance to them. Of the utmost importance to them. Excuse my fumbling of the words there, but we do know what map number 3 is, as we highlighted at the top of the cast. It will be Suravasa.
Hey, only 2 options with the flashpoints coming up. This one often being preferred over New Jack City. Slightly more flippability, as we like to say, in terms of some of these control points. Talking about specifically Ducks and Refinery can be rather difficult to recontest, whereas Suravasa, much more opportunities to have back and forth battles. But if we want to talk in terms of the teams, we haven't seen too many of these back and forth fights. To be totally honest, Mizuchi have been incredibly good at switching themselves back and forth, making this the sandwich that we call it, the death sandwich of any Krillers players, with Love in the backline, Glizzy towards the front. Yeah, smack him between Amalga and Tracer. Well, goodbye Krillers.
As you can see on screen, we got some swaps coming in for both teams. Medic coming back in for Silent Blade on the support, which means we're likely to see more Kiriko, more Moira on a map like Suravasa, where it's a lot more fast-paced. One thing I'm finding really funny right now, Tidy, is Love, who's just been this Tracer, just specialist god type player, has Torb as their favorite hero to be able to give us. It's just hilarious. But while we have you guys, we also have some swaps coming in for Krillers. We got Wavy Creature going to support.
Wait a minute.
And
okay.
Pizza coming in to play some DPS. We got some role swaps coming in.
Interesting. All right. We like to see it. More of this flexibility. That does tell me Wavy Creature will be playing Lucio, since Ready has been in more of this Baptiste kind of position with a little bit of Kiriko. So Wavy Creature stepping into a completely different role. New tasks allowing Pizza to take over the challenge, to put it lightly, of putting the reins around Love.
As we will find out, the one thing I will say, Krillers and Mizuchi, your Lucio players, they are doomed for this map. Dexatron has predicted an Ajax, and been kind of a meme
Dexatron.
about being able to predict this kind of stuff. So it might just be over for you. As yeah, do not let our desk decide the snacks. You should have heard them on the break, man. They're talking about asking me about having Skittles in a bowl with milk and a spoon. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, don't let the desk decide snacks for you. Excellent warning, Hippie. Skittles with a spoon. We're turning Skittles into a spoon. We're talking about how fun they are to kind of mold around, but don't eat those. You've gotten your hand germs all over them. That is a big, yucky no-no. But we'll see. I wonder if Skittle Forks makes their Skittles into a fork. Maybe that's where the name comes from. But we're gonna have to find out if we can talk to them after this game, because Krillers, they're on their last leg right now, Ray.
Yeah, as Mizuchi's coming out on a new comp, we haven't seen them play yet. They're going over to the Doom Fist, but the interesting thing is Love is on tank this map, and Glizzy has gone over to DPS.
I think Love wants to go back to DPS. That didn't look fun.
Yeah, I bet you they were a defense player in Overwatch 1.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Love, but yeah, the Doom's gone through a couple of changes, and yeah, we're just gonna go for it. It's a good choice.
Yeah, they got Love going over to the Malga now to match Skittle Forks. Gamer got a lot of ult charge, actually got good walls off in that fight. We're going to need to see that more and more if they want to get back in this series. As Glizzy on this Reaper, it's going to be tough sledding. It's a lot of damage.
But once again, you don't really have an answer for a Tracer to begin with. Love still not having a good time playing Overwatch because, well, he hasn't been playing Overwatch. Danson, too, has been cleaning it up. You got the rest of the team to go in. Mizuchi, perfectly fine playing without a tank.
Look, listen, Dance said, look, anything Love can do, I can do better. I'm going to pull out this Tracer now, and I'm going to dominate just as much as he was, and it's a great start so far. The question is, can they keep it up? Because Love was just an absolute force in these first two maps on Tracer.
Big shoes to fill, certainly, but Dance and Dapkins in their way towards victory thus far. Krillers, it was a rough take. Gamer was very close to this Blizzard, though, which I would like to see come out relatively soon, especially with how quick Glizzy built up to the Death Blossom. We're talking about Dance, but how about the Tangle of Death? Glizzy just did, wiping Krillers from the face of the map.
Mizuchi came out on this map and said, look, we're going to have some of our players swap roles, and we're still going to absolutely dominate. Love playing extremely well on the Malga. However, because of the first fight going so well for Skittle Forks on the Malga, they're going to have the earlier cage fight, and they can combo that with this Blizzard.
Krillers, they got open. There's not much that Mizuchi can really do about it. Even the sound barrier isn't much of a cushion between the amount of damage that Krillers would be able to output. Early dash to the point, though, and they don't put the ultimates on top of each other. So Mizuchi, no one's caught up in the Blizzard, and they have all the health in the world to sustain. What should have been an easy fight win for the Krillers is slowly turning into a disaster. Glizzy has been working around the clock, absolutely unnoticed. Love, yes, dead again, but Mizuchi know how to play the game. It's usually without a tank, as we are learning so far. They're continuing to use the rest of the cage fight from their fallen tank, forcing Krillers off the point and taking market for themselves.
To me, this seems so perplexing. You would think if you're going to combo Cage with Blizzard, you would do the Cage first to get them trapped and know they can't go anywhere, and then throw the Blizzard right on top of them. But they did it the opposite.
Yeah.
Threw the Blizzard in first, and then didn't even do the Cage on top of the Blizzard. And now Dance finds a Pulse Bomb. Great opening pick as they go to guard it, the Death Blossom.
Yep, Glizzy will get another one. I mean, even if you're down players, Krillers are beaten up much more. Love's taking another swing at the Doomfist. You do you, my guy. Your team's doing fine regardless.
Yeah, he's going to take another stab at it. hasn't done well so far. It's tough fighting going against the Malcolms who just throw down so much damage on top of that Doofus.
Love, buddy.
Already low.
Love. He's dead. He's cooked. He's done. I mean, Pizza, this is crazy to me. Mizuchi are essentially 4v5ing. Glizzy is their tank right now, like he's been in the past maps. They're like, all right, let's regroup behind Glizzy because Love is just not here. He's not existing throughout this map at all.
Look, they're just keeping Glizzy alive. Skittleforce can't even get him down.
This is hilarious. I mean, they don't have the point, to be fair. Krillers still had their tank, and that's where Skittleforce does come in handy. A big, strong Mauga is going to kind of body you away from the objective. Now, this is a combo I like to see a little bit more. Something we would call a beef copter. Glizzy just didn't die mid-ultimate, so Mizuchi, now they're the ones that are still down. They're stacking. It almost seems like they've gotten overconfident, Ray. The trades are coming through, yes, but it's incredibly sloppy compared to what we're used to. Dance, though, it gets the pulse bump, but where's the point flip?
I mean, they should be able to get it. As
they don't have a tank.
Some people coming back.
Where's their tank? We need a tank. Love, we need you now or never. My guy, sound barrier. Surely that's enough to keep you on your feet longer than 2 seconds. And for Krillers to lose some of their players, Wavy Creature, and on their feet for much longer than they hardly should have. And it's too long. Up getting the trade out in the tank department, but with how long Krillers have been in control to this point, they're going to manage a one-fight territory.
Yeah, you get all the way to 99%. 17-0 is Dance, filling those shoes that Love has left empty and on the tank roll very well. Pizza Hut, however, going to have the ability to throw in this pulse bomb going against the cage fight that Love just used.
They're going to try to trap him in. You get Skittleforce off of it. Literally could not even turn around the small corner he was corralled into. Mizuchi just keep pushing up. They're going to use their ultimates wisely here. Pizza Hut's pulse bomb goes a little bit wide, and this is more the Mizuchi that we're used to seeing.
That it is, and Dance has the pulse bomb to be able to use. Has not died yet in this fight, and could set with, final fight territory on this point in the blink of an eye. Gone from 99-0 to final fight for Mizuchi.
And already forcing the recall out as well. Mizuchi are taking that initiative. They're wrapping around behind. Love is playing Mauga, but he's playing Mauga like the Tracer. Only the Death Blossom from Glizzy is enough to keep the Krillers at bay. I love to see these flank plays. As far as the Krillers got, wasn't enough to outrun Mizuchi.
Now the big question, Tiny, is does Love go back to spawn and give Doofus another swing?
Please don't.
As both times they start out on Doofus, who was forced to go back to the Mauga, but it doesn't seem like they're going to this time. The one disadvantage they will be facing is you have the combination to throw in with the cage fight and a coalescence. You'll have a coalescence to match, but this cage fight can come through strong for Skittleforce.
Cage fight coalescence combo, or even a beef copter. That is a Death Blossom cage fight that Siba and I have owned to ourselves. Gamer, we're gonna pull it out. All right, the beef copter go crazy. I like to see it. Thank you very much, Krillers. See, I love it when they use their combos like that.
I love it too. Unfortunately, Silent Blade did not get that sound barrier up in time to be able to help combat some of those ultimates, but you do bank that for the next fight in order to counteract this incoming Kitsune rush. But minute goes down, and that's going to be a lot of percentage and time bought for the Krillers.
Ooh, pushing up too, and this is a taste of what Mizuchi was doing earlier. Krillers, instead of allowing Mizuchi to come to them, they're taking the fight initiatively here, Ray.
I agree, but the Mizuchi's going to be coming up on a war chest of ultimates, and we saw what happened last time. Krillers got it to 99. Mizuchi took it back, and they didn't look back after that. So you cannot afford to relax or breathe if you're Krillers. You have to reverse sweep on this map and the series.
Oh, there's so much at stake here for the Krillers, but they've been playing this round of Temple incredibly well. The initiative has been great, and now they're put into a trap where they can't tempo their cooldowns anymore. They don't have these small resets to take, and that's where Mizuchi can start to shine, saving up those abilities of their own, picking up the pieces, and forcing Krillers to reset and attempt to take the temple back.
And I think that was just nice patience and very smart from Krillers. The only thing they used in that fight was the Kitsune Rush. They kept the overclock. They'll be coming up on that coalescence soon. I think they put themselves in a great spot. However, Dance can just buy a whole lot of time with his pulse bomb.
Ooh, but it's not going to end up sticking though. So Dance really just forces them back slightly enough, but the Krillers, they're looking at Pizza. Pizza's got to pop off. That Pizza's your guy right now. Any deliveries coming on in? A delivery of the boot, perhaps, but nope. They'll be staying on the map. Silent Blaze retreating back to their teammates. The idea was there certainly, of course, Krillers are yet to get engaged. They wanted Mizuchi to overextend, and they're going to manage to snag the tank, but you really don't want Love shooting at their face now that he's gotten a handle of how to play the Mauga character. Pizza Hut's ultimate get absolutely nowhere fast at all. Krillers making a massive commitment into a battle that is arguably already lost. What, gamer? Nope, yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, and that might just be it, Tiny. I'm not sure anyone can touch.
So. There's just no way. You're going to have the Mauga going in, the Pulse Bomb putting a dent in the overall health bar that you have. Damson 2 can play this little waltz all day long, just waiting for the reinforcements to return on their own. No resources available for the Krillers. They burned them all in the previous engagement. It's coming back to bite him. Mizuchi, they want that playoff spot. They want it bad, knowing the 3-0 had to happen here today, and they're going to grab it, finishing their season with a 5-3 record.
And this is exactly what they needed to give themselves the best chance at making playoffs. Making sure you secure the win and giving you the best possible map differential. Getting the 3-0 and giving yourself just a great shot at making the playoffs. It's not guaranteed, but they got a good chance now. This is best case scenario for Mizuchi.
They knew what they had to do when you come into today with the Krillers being an opponent right next to you in terms of the standings lie. Mizuchi, they didn't let that fear stop them at all. We talked about how well Love has played on the Tracer all match long, even picking up the tank in their final map. It wasn't as flashy, to be fair, but consistent nonetheless. Mizuchi have showcased their understanding of how this meta is supposed to be played, how to operate as a team, coordinated, and of course run the map, run the space, and Krillers just playing it in Mizuchi's hand.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, they kind of highlighted on the desk that Krillers have a deep roster and they like to, bring different people in depending on the scenarios. I think the one thing Mizuchi had going for them, they were only ever swapping out one support player. It was mostly the same cast of players, and that just allows you to build synergy with that core group, and they were able to have the flexibility within their own roster to keep playing those main players, and that's just a big advantage Mizuchi had in this series.
Mizuchi, they had this flexibility within their team to pull through, and it's just a great showcase of their talents, of their skills, finishing the day incredibly strong. We won't mention the 9 deaths that Love managed to accrue for map number 3. Only a small dent on his overall record.
Look at Dance. Look at Dance on the Tracer, man. 31-2, 16 final blows. Like, put up a great show. I mean, I feel like it's almost like Love didn't even go over to the tank. Like, I feel like I'm looking at Love again right now.
No. This team has a lot left to go within their season, and for their sake, after the points they put up, I really hope that they can continue into the post, and so many great things they showcase for us here on the desk today, but we do have to bid our farewells to the Krillers as well. Highly unlikely for them to move on towards that playoff spot. They showed us some of this adaptability. They tried new things that, we frankly haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I don't know if we could do this possibly, Prod. Is there any way we can pull up the standings? Just take a real quick little look-see here, just now that we know the result of this match. As we see, and we're going to pull that up for you guys right now, Mizuchi, they end their season 5-3 with a +5 map differential. So really, it's just going to come down to the matches with Black on John and Sissy Platypus. Black on John had their match 30 minutes before this one, so I don't know how it went and what the map difference was, but that could matter. And then we are still waiting on Sissy Platypus's match as well. So a lot can happen here as Mizuchi gave them the best possible chance to really get themselves back in and give them a chance to make the playoffs.
Best case scenario, as you said, Ray and Mizuchi, while their fate may be out of their hands now, they'll have to be keeping an eye on how the rest of their matches will go ahead and turn out. And I mean, of course, you have Short Bus sitting at the top, still undefeated, the Titan to beat, but all these teams are focused for, especially on the middle of the pack, is just qualifying for that postseason. They'll have that break coming in next week, but the playoffs still yet to come.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time for CGL as we get closer and closer to playoffs. With that, that's going to pretty much wrap things up for me and Tiny. We're going to go ahead and throw it back to the desk where I feel like my friend Billy over here is reeling, man. They tried their best with the Krillers, but it just was not good enough. Mizuchi gets that victory. We'll throw it back to the desk.
All right, thank you, casters, Tiny Shiny, and to Try Hard Brave for your amazing work in that series. And what a dominant series it was indeed. A Mizuchi 3-0, surpassing all of the expectations, even with our predictions. We at the very least thought it was going to be a 3-1. No! A 3-0 against the Krillers. So, Dexatron, you were the closest one on the desk who believed, and you were the one who had the most faith in them, I would say. Vindication, sort of?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of explained before. I thought Mizuchi would drop one. I mean, they did drop their last series here, so I thought maybe they were sluggish a little bit, but no, they showed us tonight why they deserve to be in the playoffs right here. A very, very strong performance against the Krillers, who in themselves, I mean, they were on the outside of the playoff hunt here. If things had gone their way, I mean, the Krillers could have been able to sneak themselves in, but this Mizuchi esports team just, I feel like, surprised a lot of us here tonight.
I think it surprised myself as well, even though I had them for 3-2. I thought there was going to be some sort of that fight from the Krillers, but Billy, the entire way through, it just felt like Mizuchi was in charge. They knew exactly what needed to be done at every single moment.
Well, the thing is that we didn't see the constant swapping up of the cast here for Krillers. So they ran the same team 2 maps in a row, which is generally unheard of when the Krillers play. So, I mean, maybe they felt like they had found their right composition, their right play. This is, by the way, the play of the match. That window was absolutely beautiful coming out from Silent Blaze, the substitute coming in there. But, I mean, look, Krillers, they had some momentum going on their side. Sulgi goes out after map 1. So decided, deuces, I'm out of here. As we see Freddy there on Servos. I mean, this was just dominance. And I tell you what, I saw one match of Mizuchi esports. I think I saw it on YouTube or somebody clipped it or something. This team definitely is firing on all cylinders at the right time. So, I mean, good for them coming out here and making a statement.
It was a statement marked the blood of their enemies, it almost felt like here. Headrammer, who, by the way, Ray specifically called out Billy, but completely forgot about you and completely forgot that you were also in the Krillers camp.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was actually hard on esports the entire time.
Okay, all right.
But no, you're right. I thought we'd seen good things recently from the Krillers, but you're right. Mizuchi Esports came out. All their players were probably on all cylinders, and they were also on the same page. That was one thing I really noticed watching their team play, is that they were hive-minding around all on the same target, and people were just melting because of that. We saw a lot with the Krillers, where it did not feel like their team was on the same page. We had people just randomly dying at times. Fights that even won, like they would go like a little bit too far and they would lose someone, and Mizuchi Esports would bring it back and then win a fight they really should never have won, or had already lost just due to a little bit like overextension, someone out of position, or just not be on the same page for their engagements.
And Dexatron, this is exactly what Mizuchi wanted, though, especially with the playoffs right around the corner. I mean, idealistically, we were thinking 3-1, right? Worst case scenario, 3-2, but this is just everything they could want and more, a 3-0.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were sitting 1 map difference behind Sussy Platypus and I think 2 behind Black on John. But just based on who those teams are playing coming in this week, I think Black on John should be able to win their matchup, locking them in Sussy Platypus, though, becomes this big thing right now with that matchup. We don't know when it is, but this 3-0 victory right here does put a little bit of pressure now on the Sussy Platypuses. I mean, you have to now, they have to sweep, essentially, to lock themselves in, because if they drop a map, and win 3-1, that puts them at the same record of this Mizuchi Esports team and same map differential. And I don't know what the tiebreaker is. If it's head-to-head, I think it is Mizuchi who has that tiebreaker if it goes to that one there.
Yeah, this match right now, right, Billy, it just chaos, right? An earthquake throughout the entirety of the standings, and all of the other teams are now sweating, I think, a little bit more.
I mean, this is a result that, I don't think anybody had on their card. So, I mean, the shakeup here has happened. I'm trying to take a look right now to see where this Sussy Platypus game is showing up. It's not showing up yet. Let's see. I'm looking at tomorrow. They have not scheduled it yet. So, I mean, they need to get on it for one. Schedule your game, damn it. Otherwise, you're going to be in problems. But I mean,
we don't want to have a double forfeit or anything.
No. Don't call that. No.
It'd be quite the standing shakeup, wouldn't it?
Don't put that evil.
Bad head rammer. Bad head rammer.
Head rammer is just.
Do not put that energy out there.
Head rammer's just on one tonight. Goodness.
Look! I already know by the end of the week I'm gonna have to be nagging people to report their scores because there's gonna have to be a deadline when things have to be done. Because look, there's no harder thing we ask of teams than report the scores of their matches right after it's over.
You mean esports teams just aren't prompt and on top of the ball and everything?
No, not usually, unfortunately.
What? This is a shock to me, head rammer.
I had someone yesterday ask me if they could still submit their week 2 score. It's week 8.
Well, could they?
No.
Oh.
It was too late.
Okay. Well, what are you even doing that? I can only imagine the DMs of Head Rammer. I take back that you're lonely. Yeah, I'm sure you actually wish for loneliness and peace.
At times. My nickname with Discord is Headrammer #questions before DMs, so they go to the channel before, but it doesn't quite work as much as I would like, I would say.
Again, you're expecting the esports players to be able to read the
That's a good point. Honestly, I think if they could, I would be out of a job.
Anyways, enough dunking on all of our amazing players, and in fact, let's go ahead and celebrate one of our players, the MVP of this series. And one that I think, showed us a lot of different flavors, flexed on a couple of different roles. And we're speaking of none other than the amazing, talented Love, who went from a bombastic tracer, some of the flashiest plays that we were able to see out of them, and then moved over in Suravasa onto Mauga, where they were also really trying, Billy, to make Doomfist work. It wasn't quite there. They wanted to. But Mauga, at the very least, they made it work. It wasn't quite as crazy as their tracer play, like Tiny said on the caster desk, but this was still pretty impressive from them to be able to flex from DPS to tank.
I mean, it's the same shooting mechanics. Find head, click. That's basically what you do.
Spray and pray.
With Mauga. Yeah. There was no spraying and praying from Love tonight. Just the tracer alone shows a beautiful tracking, and we saw what happened with Mauga. Was absolutely dominant on it. Please don't play Doomfist anymore. You're not good at it.
Oh my god!
We are really good.
Dang!
Oh my goodness, we're on one tonight.
What?
We have
I'm calling it. There's a reason why they swapped on both of those times, because they were getting absolutely wrecked on the Doomfist. Come on now. I call it how it is. Sam, you better than anybody knows that I will call a person out when it just ain't working. That's the hallmark of my casting career. I call people out when they're playing like a bronze, and that was basically it.
And that's why we love you, Billy. You give it to us. Give it to us in a way that is palatable, delicious, but also we need to hear it sometimes.
It's nutritious. It's food. It's brain food. It's
brain food.
What, Skittles in milk or whatever you said?
And fish.
No, Skittles are yummy. Okay, Skittles and milk.
Let's not bring that
down. First of all,
that was a joke. That was a joke.
You are wrong, sir, and you're going to burn in hell.
I already knew that. But
we're gonna have an exorcism live on broadcast.
We're condemning people live on stream.
But no, before we stop talking about love, I mean, both Tiny and Ray brought it up how great they were on that Tracer those first two maps, and especially on Nepal. We us in the booth here were still talking about it, and we were just kind of in awe of how they were playing that Tracer there. Then they go over to the tank, and the Doomfist. I'm not gonna completely condone what Billy said, but I'm not gonna disagree at all either. The Malga pick was
an endorsement. It's okay.
Yeah, the Malga pick was something that worked out for them there a lot, and you saw their stats there. They did a great job being able to flex over onto that tank role there, and I think they were much deserving of the MVP tonight just because of how, one, flexible they were, but two, when they were playing that Tracer, they were dominant on that Tracer tonight.
They were. I mean, Headrammer, it's always easy to pick on the Tracer player, right? They're the ones who do all the cool things. They're the ones going into the back lines. They're the poster child of Overwatch. But Love was giving, I think, a pretty good masterclass on what this hero is capable of.
Yeah, they were always kind of finding those picks, finding those opportunities, and also just not dying. I think was a big thing. We saw the stats pop up on the screen a few times. Some players would have like 7+ deaths, and Love would have 2. And when your Tracer player is like constantly alive, they're constantly a threat, especially when they're getting that much value when they are alive. It was pulling so much attention from from Krillers, and it was noticeable.
It was a dominant performance from them, regardless of whether it was a Tracer or whether it was a Malga. Not so much Doomfist. We've covered that extensively now at this point, but. But once again, a big congratulations to Love on the MVP for this week of Friday Night Overwatch, and also a big congratulations to Mizuchi Esports being able to take home a 3-0 victory, putting themselves in a really good spot for the playoffs coming up here. Now, before we close things out, I do want to get some final thoughts, and we'll start off with you, Dextertron. How you doing, buddy? Did you enjoy the game tonight?
And I enjoyed the game tonight. Friday Night Overwatch is always so fun, but we've already talked about it a lot here. This Mizuchi Esports team really did surprise a lot of us. I know me, you, Sam, and the casting desk had this matchup selected for them to win, and they showed us why, but they impressed us even more tonight. And like I said, if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be honestly an unfortunate thing, because they right now seem to be just firing on all cylinders and just ready to go into that playoffs, a hot team, one that has to be feared somewhat.
It's sending, like I said, a shockwave, an earthquake, Billy, but I do want to gather your final thoughts.
I mean, Mizuchi, if they make it in, watch out. I think that the Glizzy Love tank and DPS combo, that's pretty impressive. I think that's something that really impressed me, is how well they synergize together. Being able to go in, Glizzy would go in and get the stomp in, and then you just see the spray and all headshots coming from Love. That's very impressive. It really was managing the blinks, managing the recalls very well. So, I mean, if they make it in, I'm going to have very high stonks on them. I love being proved wrong. That's something that I got to put out there as well. I love being proved wrong. Because it just shows how diverse and how really strong our league is. Also, reminder to everybody out there, next week is an admins week. So we may have a broadcast next week. You may have something very fun. It may be the very first casters versus staff open pugs.
Ooh.
And, well, this is something that Ray and I are setting up as we speak. So casters versus prod and staff. That should be a lot of fun. I don't know where we're going to put Headrammer, though, because he's kind of both. So
He'll be the caster.
What, you trying to stack your team? I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But, yeah, I will add on, schedule-wise, we will also have the opponent picking stream on Friday. That we do every playoffs, where the top seeds pick their opponents for the first round for the playoffs. So that will be next Friday. Actually, the exact same time Friday Night Overwatch is for both times. Both EU and NA will have opponent picking stream. The staff game will probably be Saturday or Sunday, still working on the schedule, but we'll also have MVP voting for regular season MVP voting open for all the tiers, and might do something a little special for the top few people as well.
Are we going to go All-Star again?
That's what we're probably going to be doing around the MVP votes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I don't remember if we had an All-Star game last year, but that used to be a big thing for all of us in the tiers when we were tiers back in the day. All-Stars was a very fun week. It always happened during admin week. So keep an eye out for stuff in the Discord and on Twitter.
You have so many things going on in CGL. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And also another good reason why you should go ahead and follow the channel. Get notifications to when we go live. Also, make sure to go and follow our socials out there on Twitter. Headrammer, what are the CGL socials? I don't have them off the top of my head.
Console Gaming LG. Sorry, is what the Twitter is.
All right, go follow it. Seriously, go out there. Once again, you get notifications. You also get to see all the cool memes, all the fun clips that come out of here as well. And I know if you're one of the teams, you definitely want to be seeing that. So you can, I don't know, print it out and put it on the fridge, I guess. I don't know. But regardless...
That's where I put all my tweets.
On the fridge?
On the fridge.
So Mom's proud of them.
Did you print out the pistachio picture and put it on the fridge?
Of course.
Oh my god.
That is framed.
Wait, is that actually framed? Is it like a...
No, but it should be... we got to create like a little bit of an altar with it, actually.
How much is it for a billboard?
For a billboard. I always wondered how much that billboard would be.
I almost tanked my hosting career with one phrase. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. We really do appreciate it
together.
It's not easy for me. I'm losing it. I'm falling apart at the seams, Billy. But again, thank you all so much for watching. A big thank you, of course, to our casters, our behind-the-scenes production, and the amazingly beautiful and talented desk. We do thank you all, yes, that's right, you, for watching, for whom without we would just be talking into the ether. So, once again, we will be back April 19th. You saw it right there in the blurb down below for Friday Night Overwatch. The desk will return. Of course, we do have those crazy shenanigans going on next week that you do not want to miss. But for myself and everyone here at CGL, we will see all of you on the next broadcast.